MOCE is a well-renowned modded Celeste campaign made by issy, with 2 currently released maps, CPVL and LXVI, and a 3rd map currently in development. issy's gameplay style is highly unique, being claustrophobic and daunting to look at, though what's most interesting is the gameplay style. I refer to most gameplay as setup precision, because the main gist is that most timings are dictated by freeze frames or buffered inputs, meaning the bulk of difficulty must come from something other than true timed precision. Though CPVL is also difficult to some capacity, LXVI is where setup precision really shines. What makes LXVI so difficult is a mix of 3 main elements in my opinion: input density, input overlap, and endurance. Input density is self-explanatory. There's very little processing time between long and precise strings of inputs, and during the learning process I often find myself practicing the same strings over and over to gain consistency. Endurance is also self-explanatory. It's the length of each screen. Whilst none of the screens 1 through 9 are all too long, the screens of space are very densely packed. So whilst the screens themselves may only be 30 to 40 seconds long, inputs are packed so densely together that there's so many opportunities to miss a buffer timing, misdirect a dash, or mess up in any little way. MOCE is revered mainly for the final screens of each map, both being very long endurance challenges using all of the mechanics taught in one last hurrah. Perfection and Venus are truly the best screens of both respective maps, and I personally had amazing experiences with both. Input overlap is a term I've commandeered to refer to the number of keys that must be held at one time. I had no problem with this in CPVL. Sections that required a jump button held were usually simple and short, but LXVI takes this to another level. Many difficult sections of LXVI require the use of 2 jump buttons, both dash and demo, grab and constant change of direction, all for the same strings. To understand why this is an element of difficulty to me personally, let's take a look at how I play Celeste for a minute. This is my very beautiful Iquinix F96 that I bought specifically to play Osumania, though it's doing much better for Celeste. Here's my input display, and here's the specific key layout, though do note I've added J3 up top for aesthetic purposes despite it being my spacebar. I play only directions with my right and anything else with my left. My left middle does most of the heavy lifting, with dash, demo and J2 all bound to it. Left index and ring are bound to J1 and grab respectively. You'll notice that my left thumb doesn't sit above the spacebar, and that's because I only use J3 in very specific circumstances. Note how in a recent farewell run I paused to focus during a triplet multi-boost because I have to adjust my hand positioning. Crux of my strat doesn't work if you get it second. All being said, I'm fairly limited when it comes to input overlap, though I had ways of working around it which I'll talk about when it comes up. For now, enjoy the first few screen clears. What the fuck do you mean? What the fuck do you mean I got the sub 18 in like 20 minutes? 24 minutes to be exact. Okay, I'll take it, fuck it. Well, I guess I can move on to LXVI now. Okay, so you all know what LXVI is. I don't need to explain. Well, I know it's just a letter in the chat, but I'm talking as if this is a YouTube intro. 3, 2, 1, let's begin. Okay, is this a... Okay, cool. Got it. Already seeing some retention tech. Cool. Thank you. Don't mess it up now. Thank you. Nice. Okay. I wasted my dash. And I'm back here because save states. So let's go back here. Okay. Get me out of there, dude. Oh my god. I hated that screen. Right. Before we move on to Earth 4, let's talk a little bit about difficulty. None of the previous screens were anything too notable, as why I didn't talk specifically about them. Earth 4, however, is the first GM Plus screen of LXVI, and boy is it a lot to understand. This screen introduces both corner boost, wall boosts, insane extended crouch climb section, and introduces RCBs or reverse corner boosts. The first few hours of the learning process were just me attempting the crouch climb at lower speeds, building up to be able to perform it normally. Any attempt that passes the crouch climb from the start is a contender for the winning attempt, but that isn't to say the ending is entirely free either. From this corner to the end of the screen, a jump is required to be held. This corner kick is also a reverse corner boost, meaning that you must switch direction and buffer the jump input in order to preserve a crouch state and the momentum to avoid these spikes. I originally attempted to learn this ending with J3 held, though it was wildly uncomfortable and inconsistent. I finally settled on only releasing J1 during the right dash and buffering another J1 press and holding that until the ending fall. This worked decently consistently. I did actually fluke the entire ending the first time I passed the crouch climb, however, I wasn't streaming. On stream, I passed the crouch climb maybe 20 times before finally getting the ending again. It's awful. Thank you! Yes! Oh, yay. Okay. This is the dashless one, yeah. Moving past Earth 4, here we are, what I consider to be the most difficult screen aside from Venus. Earth 5 is mainly dashless, and anyone who knows me knows that I specifically refuse to play dashless maps due to personal preferences. It also contains another crouch climb section, this time at the end. Whilst this one isn't nearly as bad as Earth 4, I died here over 100 times during my attempts, and that's mainly because of the rapid buffer section immediately before it, which I found gaining consistency with very challenging. The start of this screen takes some learning, especially the timing for this bubble wall bounce, but it does get consistent with practice. This was my worst experience with the screen in LXVI, but having finally passed Earth with Eyes in the Darkness, one of my favourite tracks by Lana Rain, on the horizon, I was filled with a new motivation to annihilate this map. Past this point, the screens are longer, more input dense, and for a player going through blind, I imagine multiple wraparounds makes the screens harder to read, though I chose beforehand not to play blind. Fuck that screen. Oh my god. That was the worst experience I've ever fucking had with this screen. We got breakable blocks. There you go. Got it. Yeah! Hell yeah! Space 2 is where things really get interesting, and it also contains the second section that I had to find a workaround for, this time in a much more cheese-esque method. The beginning starts off with a few timings dictated by freeze frames. This delayed ultra is really consistent, and I'm a big fan of using freeze frames to gauge key release times. This section, however, is very difficult. For intended, you're supposed to fall down, grab this block here, neutral and buffer a corner kick off this block whilst immediately holding right, demo upright and climb jump into the corner here. I found this super awkward and uncomfortable, so I found a strat that eliminates the neutral, where I fall down and time a jump off this block, allowing me to skip the upright demo in favour of an up demo instead, also conserving a bit of stamina. I struggled with this mid-section a lot during real attempts, though it became very consistent later on. This dream block section also shows off the first dash bounce in the map, definitely my favourite tag, and all 4 in the map become eerily consistent. I originally learnt the ending to this screen incorrectly. This jump is a coyote jump where grab must be released, however I was told that grab was required, so I learnt to double dash down left and neutral corner boost to get the right arc. This, funnily enough, did become somewhat consistent, but when I learnt intended, I opted for that in my real run. You fucking bet. Yes! Oh, yes! I'm so glad. I'm so fucking glad. Oh, hell yeah. Back in the game, baby. Space 3 is akin to Earth 5, and by that I mean the screen itself is just very difficult, with no specific choke points aside from the evil neutral ending, and nothing that my input overlap limitations would interfere with. Space 3 is very input dense. These instantaneous buffer reverse demo hypers take a bit to get used to, since horizontal and only a horizontal direction must be held for the hyper to work. Same concept as jank in the limbo. The start is very mind-blockable, as the inputs for this reverse corner boost are decently precise, yet do get consistent eventually. This screen took a long time to clear, though I still thoroughly enjoyed the gameplay. I don't like that death. Here we go. Finally! Oh my god, that was so bad. I really shouldn't be talking about Space 4 here since it's not actually too bad, however due to a spell of massive bad luck it took even longer than Space 3. During practice the day before I found great consistency with most of the parts and got many runs to the end, though I didn't get it on the first stream. Before next stream I decided to do some runs from the start where I actually cleared the screen but opted to retry before exiting the final level in favour of clearing on stream. I started up with that confidence, but 3 hours later when I finally beat the screen I was so done and just so glad that I could move on. I've added some highlights to this section, some funny moments and evil Alyssa making her debut, so enjoy! Anti-consistency mental waves go whoa 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 whoa. You should try thinking really hard about all your inputs if that always helps. Okay. Hey Paige, heed my advice. Open the menu, go down to exit to map, press X 3 times, scroll down and click exit. Never open the game again. Ooh. Hard to think about the inputs and my monitor's off. What are you sending, a homing missile at my monitor or something? EMP Mind Blast, go. Oh no! Joke's on you, there is no mind in here. It's all soup. It's all soup and bees. Wait, hold on. Let me do Bingus attempt. Is that the Bingus term? Bingo? My fucking Bingus attempt. Oh, the explosion didn't play. Ugh, that's annoying. Right, 1 attempt. Cool. Back to normal. Let's see if that's a... Okay. Yeah, the explosion doesn't play. That's weird. I might need to re-download the file or something. Bro. What if I channel a Giga Mind Blast and explode your house so you don't get it tomorrow either? I won't be getting shit any day if you kill me with a Giga Mind Blast. How did you pass? Giga Mind Blast incident. Not again. How would you rate mean and evil Alyssa out of 10? 10 out of 10. Love her. She's great. Great company. She fits in just perfectly with me. Okay. Welcome to Venus, the final screen of MOCE LXVI, a true gauntlet that's over 3 times the length of any other screen. I had some expectations coming into Venus. First things first, I expected to find it harder than Abaddon. I didn't exactly expect it to take as long as Abaddon though, just for each part to be quote-unquote harder, as the nature of condensed difficulty dictates that to be the case for screens of similar star rating. I was terrified of learning because I truly believed I would struggle at every point. I watched through a few clear videos and thought to myself, this is insane, can I do this? I don't know. That was not the case though. I began learning Venus on the 12th of February. I started with a full save state run through the whole thing where I found many parts to be insanely difficult. I moved back to practice the final third after, and though I did find 1 or 2 parts to be kind of inconsistent, I was able to get some decent runs pretty quickly. The second third took the least time to learn. I got a full run of this sector within an hour. The first third, while it is definitively the most difficult and densely packed section, it too began to become consistent within the same session. By the end of my first learning period, I had Venus in 3 runs. The next day, after a little practice, I started playing from the start, and in less than 10 minutes, I died to this stream block part in the final third. I had Venus in 2 runs. I was very confident in my ability to finish Venus very quickly. I wasn't able to stream on this day, and the next day I was very limited because of other commitments, but I still managed to achieve a death to misdirecting the final dash before Don't Choke. There's also a couple of funny moments in these 2 little streams. I definitely didn't nearly drop a pint of water on my PC, so I hope you enjoy that. Finally. I'm not learning Venus today. Maybe I will. Wait, let me show you one of my dresses. Ooh, I get to use my camera view. Hello. Let's see, they have towels on my bed. Anyway. This is my favorite dress. I love it. It's so pretty. I don't even see it very well. Let's take my own. There you go. It's pretty. Let's put you back. Yeah, I have 2 dresses like that. Fuck. I just tipped a fucking entire jug of water on my floor. It's not, my PC's elevated, thank fuck. But, oh, good thing I have towels behind me. Welcome to Darling Page's stream. Best quality content since 2003. It wasn't even a drink, it was a full fucking pint of water. My floor is slightly wet. Ugh, no. My poor floor. I'm supposed to hoover later as well. Oh well. I'm just gonna leave the towel on the floor. Anyway. This needs to dry now. Whoop. Stay. Okay, maybe not. That's not going on my bed. It's wet, it's going on the floor. Okay, back to Venus. That's going in the highlights. I redirected it. Oh my god. No, that was so bad. Why did I do that? Well, my confidence doesn't appear unwell-founded now. Anyway, let's continue. The next day I woke up knowing that this was the final day. The confidence I had the day before hadn't wavered, and during practice I showed myself to be more than capable with overall consistency. What I expected to take weeks was about to be over in 2 days, and that excitement carried me through the next 3 hours. My consistency through this stream was up and down. I struggled to tab with the crouch climbs during practice, but not enough to the point where it would impede my progress. I had periods of consistency and inconsistency, and many dumb deaths during the second and final thirds. To top it off, I had 2 nerve deaths during Don't Choke, but alas, Venus was going down today. But before I get to the clear, here are some highlights. Let's go. I fucked it. I thought I messed up the first buffer. I thought I was holding. I thought I didn't hold jump long enough. No, are you kidding me? That was so fucking bad. How many bad deaths am I gonna have in this final third? Ugh. No, are you kidding me? Wait. It happened again. It happened again. Oh my god. I swear I buffered that. I swear I fucking buffered that. That was... Are you kidding me? Go. I fucked it up again. Ugh. I don't got this. I don't got this. Before we get to the final attempt, I'd like for a second to talk about enjoyment with regards to Venus specifically. I struggle with really bad motivation issues, and sometimes when a screen feels too hard, it can really shake my overall confidence. I often pick up projects and drop them when they feel too much, regardless of how capable I actually am on pulling through. Screens 1 to 9 of LXVI instilled me with this kind of feeling, like the challenge I'd signed up for was too much, especially when looking at my clear times for some of the screens. Venus was different. Something in my brain just clicked with every section. It actually felt like I was separating every input down to the individual key presses. You may notice during my Venus clear that I never stopped to think, and that's because I found the screen to flow together so well that I didn't need to regain my bearings at any point. I'm very proud of myself for my Venus clear time, and I would like to pass on my recommendation of this map to anyone looking for a new kind of challenge. 3 hours and 38 minutes into stream, I finally got the winning run, and LXVI had become the latest in a long line of maps to fall to my crusade. Got it, yes. Thank God. I thought I messed up the final, corner kick. Not corner kick, it's not a corner kick, it's a corner jump. I thought I messed up the final corner jump. Oh, thank God. Yay. 3-star number 2. Fuck yeah. GG. Frozen. Fuck yes. Fuck yes. Ah, yay. GG Venus. GG Venus. I'm so happy I got it today. I genuinely thought I'd be stuck there for so fucking long. Journal time. Only 41k deaths. That's not bad. Actually, that's nearing how much Summer took me. But this is more condensed difficulty, so it makes sense as to why I have about the same, similar deaths. Only 44 hours. Yeah, not bad at all. Less than half the time of TSP. Yay! How many hours of that was Venus? I think it was 29 hours, not Venus. So 15 hours Venus?